Chelsea smashed the transfer window again.
First time I met them, because of the age and because how good is the squad, for me Chelsea in the next 5-10 years will be one of the team or the team that is going to dominate English football.
The Premier League has no idea what's coming.
Estevão, Neto, Palmer and some others, of course João Pedro, are fit. They're going to create troubles, that's for sure, for any defence.
Right now, Stamford Bridge is home to one of the most exciting projects in all of English football. But this isn't about the rebuild, the signings or the big money.
Can Chelsea win the league?
Yes, this season more than ever, because I don't think there's a team right now who's ultimately consistent, because we've seen everyone's dropping points left, right and centre. So that enables Chelsea to, I think, be close, because they're not going to bang out 25 unbeaten. But they're gonna win more than they lose. They're gonna be up there. I think they're the contenders.
This is about a £97 million Samba duo that's about to terrorise defences from day one.
All the way out here, an opportunity for the top corner.
Estevão Willian, the 18-year-old wonder kid from Palmeiras, has landed and already looks like he was born for nights under the bridge lights.
Well, it's really interesting to see the role of Estevão and how it changed from the first to the second half. In the first half, dynamic down that right-hand side, and every time that he was going after the defenders, whenever he was going outside or inside, you felt like something was about to happen. And you have to remind yourself that he's 18 years old, that we thought, well, maybe is he ready, is he not ready? If you base it upon the performance of the first 45 minutes,
12 goals, 5 assists last season, and a knack for scoring against the biggest teams in Europe. From Chelsea themselves in the Club World Cup to Bayer Leverkusen.
Ball in towards Estevão, the touch is good, the shot's even better!
On the ball, pure magic. Off the ball, relentless. And the chemistry with Cole Palmer, instant. Alongside him, João Pedro, possibly the signing of the season.
Right, when you've got players like João Pedro who can step up and perform like that, that is an introduction to those Chelsea fans out there. João Pedro is not just a penalty kick taker, he apparently can score bangers as well.
He's ready to break a streak that's haunted Chelsea since Diego Costa left. A striker capable of hitting 25 plus goals. He destroyed the Club World Cup. He's been unstoppable in pre-season.
Penalty area, decent cutback as well, and João Pedro!
And his link-up play with Palmer already has shades of Lampard and Drogba.
Tomorrow, he's capable of becoming one of the best players in the Premier League because the potential is there, but he's also a player who is clearly capable of scoring goals in the Premier League.
Put them together and you get a front three with Palmer that could rival or even surpass the firepower of Gyökeres Saka Zubimendi or the lethal edge of Wirtz Ekitike Sala. If these two click, it's over for everyone else. Chelsea's recruitment strategy has shocked the football world. Since Todd Boehly took control in 2022, the Blues have spent a staggering €1.68 billion on new signings, more than any other club on the planet. This isn't just spending big, it's rewriting the limits of ambition in modern football.
No other club in football can do this. Todd Boehly, billionaire, he can kind of just throw money at the wall. They've got an incredible academy system where they can pull players up into the first team or sell them so they can kind of keep kicking that PSR can down the road. They will buy 3/4 of the best 18 to 21-year-olds in the world, and then a couple of them get to the first team, but it's working.
From Mykhailo Mudryk to Enzo Fernandez, from Moises Caicedo to Marc Cucurella, from Raheem Sterling to João Felix. Each deal felt like a bold statement, but also raised serious doubts. Critics called it reckless. They said Chelsea were just hoarding stars without building a real team. The comparisons to Paris Saint-Germain were inevitable, a club with endless resources, but no guarantee of victory.
Chelsea, it's a big club.
Chelsea have just got to stop buying players, and players have got to stop signing for Chelsea. I don't know why, if I was a player, I would look at that Chelsea project and think, why would you sign? The only reason why you would sign is because someone might say, your agent might say, we're getting a 7-year deal on big money, that's guaranteed money for...
But football history has another side. Some mega projects fail, yes, but some become dynasties. Just ask Manchester City. And now, Chelsea are moving dangerously close to that category. Nobody expected them to be ready to fight for every trophy this soon.
Competition all really wanted to win it, so I do think it's a big thing and it should give you belief and maybe build a connection between the manager and the supporters. I don't think that was really there a lot last season. Even later on in the season, they were booing some of the substitutions away at Fulham. There was only 5 or 6 games to go of the season. So I think it'll help do that. I'm not sure it'll push Chelsea any closer to the title if they obviously don't bring those type of players in. Because I don't know how you feel, but you know when Chelsea do business over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, it feels like a lot of players changing without anyone really lifting the level. I know Cole Palmer's been amazing, but you know, like, all your wingers feel like the same. There's a lot of players there.
The needle hasn't moved.
Madueke, a perfect example is Gittins comes in, Madueke leaves.
Yeah, where's the elevation?
That's what I see that with a lot of positions. I feel with Chelsea.
I think that's true, and you're probably correct. I don't think we will win the league, but do you know what I think this summer has done, and also winning that silverware it's done. I think it's this time last year you were talking about Chelsea in the same breath as the competing teams. At the time we were maybe talking about Tottenham, Villa. We were putting Chelsea in that bracket that were competing for the top 5, hoping to finish in. We've left them behind now. We've now moved a rung above, I think. I think that you now talk about Chelsea as competing with Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Not after the turbulence of rebuilding, not after stacking the squad with so many young players still finding their feet, but slowly the pieces are clicking into place.
Enzo Maresca has done an incredible job of sorting through that entire squad, finding the best 11, 22, 23, whatever it is. I think he's a top manager. I think they will again have a very, very good season.
And all starts with Estevão, the 17-year-old Brazilian wonder kid with a €34 million price tag. On paper, that's already a huge investment. In reality, it's a bargain, because Estevão isn't just another young signing, he's an artist.
And every time that he was going after the defenders, whenever he was going outside or inside, you felt like something was about to happen. And you have to remind yourself that he's 18 years old, that we thought, well, maybe is he ready, is he not ready? If you base it upon the performance of the first 45 minutes, this is a player that you can certainly...
He brings magic, samba, yoga bonito, goals, and the kind of creativity that can decide finals. A lot can happen in a year, and for Estevão, it's been a whirlwind. The whispers about his talent had been around for years. Even as a kid, barely a teenager, he was already nicknamed Messinho, or Little Messi, in Cruzeiro's academy. At just 14, he switched to Palmeiras and led them to a string of youth titles. Brazil has seen countless young prodigies rise with the promise of greatness, only to fade away before reaching their peak. But Estevão has been different. He's made the jump from promise to reality without missing a step. At 17, he already boasts 5 senior caps for Brazil, and earlier this month, he made his first start for the Brazilian national team in a tough away game against Ecuador, and he truly adds a touch of magic to any team he plays for. A player capable of breaking defensive lines with his dribbling, delivering quality passes, and building strong connections with his teammates. Last season, still under the age of 18, he finished just 2 goals shy of being the top scorer in Brazil's Serie A. Also, he finished second with the most assists. One moment defined his rise. On his Copa Libertadores debut, facing Liverpool of Montevideo, he ghosted into the box and scored with a far post header. Not the kind of goal you expect from a player of his frame, but the kind born from vision and instinct. That night, his manager Ferreira made a plea in public, urging the Palmeiras president not to let him leave. But the wheels were already in motion. Chelsea had secured his signing for a reported £60 million. Palmeiras held on to him until after the Club World Cup, but his destiny was already written.
Well, ball in towards Estevão, the touch is good, the shot's even better!
Estevão is a beast. Even Cole Palmer couldn't wait to play alongside him.
He's a top player, obviously he's only young as well, so when he comes to England, people need to give him time to obviously adapt to the culture, the language. He's still only 18 or 19 or something, but you can see he's got amazing quality, and we look forward to seeing him. I just said we look forward to seeing you, but he didn't understand a word I said, so it didn't really matter.
It's no secret, Chelsea have struggled with depth and variety out wide. Yes, they already have Neto, Jamie Bino Gittins, and Cole Palmer to operate on the wings. But Estevão, he brings something different, something unpredictable. At just 16, he's already shown remarkable versatility. Naturally a right winger in a 4-2-3-1, he's also been used as a wing-back, an attacking midfielder, and even as a centre-forward when the system demands it. This ability to shift roles without losing effectiveness is one of the reasons Chelsea were willing to invest so heavily. In Palmeiras' setup, he often started high and wide, hugging the touchline to create room for teammates like Endrick and Rafael Veiga, both left-footed players who drift into the right half space. With an overlapping fullback bombing down the line, Estevão stretched defences, pulling markers out of shape and opening corridors for runners inside.
Palmer, so you're seeing a flexibility to Estevão that I don't think most people were familiar with, given the fact that you think, well, he's just a winger, he's going to get after defenders, he's going to get after Grimaldo as he did today, and that's the limitation of his game, and that's it. Well, we saw in the second half that there is flexibility, that he can find the inside positions and he can find spaces in between lines and be dangerous and influential as well.
And then there's the one-on-one factor. Few players his age have his dribbling venom. Quick feet, explosive acceleration, and a rare two-footed balance make him a nightmare to defend against. He thrives in tight spaces, beating markers with a drop of the shoulder or a sudden burst of pace. Even when stopped, he doesn't hide, he goes again, over and over, until something breaks. That relentlessness forces defenders into mistakes, drawing fouls, penalties, and panic. But he's not just a dribbler. His vision hints at a future-wide playmaker. He loves bending and swinging crosses, threading short, intricate passes in the final third, and trying to spark link-up play. Then there's his shooting. It's electric. Left foot, right foot. It doesn't matter. He can whip a curler, smash a volley, or surprise a keeper with a low drive. But like any young attacker, his shot selection is still maturing. His expected goals map shows too many low percentage attempts from distance instead of working his way into higher quality positions. That's a habit Maresca and his staff will look to refine. Yes, Estevão has the tools. The real question is whether he can unleash them in the Premier, and judging by what we saw at the Club World Cup, there's little doubt. He's ready. Sure, he still needs to bulk up, to become physically stronger. But football has taught us over and over again, intelligence can beat brute force. And intelligence is something Estevão has in abundance. Against Chelsea in that tournament, Palmeiras had few real attacking outlets. But every time the ball reached Messinho, something changed. He didn't just hold possession, he dictated it. He played with this fearless attacking energy, always driving forward, always searching for ways to hurt the opposition. His movement, his understanding of where to be and when to be there stood out. Yes, his decision-making still has room to grow, but when he gets it right and combines it with his technical quality, he can score goals like the one he put past Chelsea. And now, we've already had a taste of what he can bring in Chelsea blue. You can't give him space. You can't leave him isolated in a one-on-one. Those are the exact moments when he explodes, sprinting into the box, slicing through defenders, and creating chaos. Just look at his performance against Bayer Leverkusen. Every time the ball came to him, there was a buzz, the sense that something was about to happen.
Season for Estevão, it's going to be fascinating really to see how he adapts.
Well, it's really interesting to see the role of Estevão and how it changed from the first to the second half. In the first half, dynamic down that right-hand side, and every time that he was going after the defenders, whenever he was going outside or inside, you felt like something was about to happen. And
the real magic, though, might be in his connection with Cole Palmer. All of Chelsea's best moments in that high-tempo first half came when the two linked up. The opening goal said it all. Estevão wins the ball back on the halfway line, threads a quick forward pass, then keeps running. Palmer almost scores with a genius lob from Cucurella's cross. The ball crashes off the bar, but Estevão has ghosted into the perfect spot to bury the rebound.
Now, Neto comes in the second half and he goes on that right-hand side, and now we saw Estevão playing more of a central position and still getting himself in positions where he could be dangerous. On the half turn, going after defenders, getting himself in positions where he could be dangerous inside the 18-yard box, taking the role of Cole Palmer.
You could see the respect Palmer already has for him. A cheeky back heel here, a smooth chest pass there, and countless times when he didn't even look. Just swept the ball to the right wing, knowing Estevão was ready to receive. And the Brazilian, confident, aggressive, never hesitating to pull the trigger when the chance opened up. The problem for Estevão is the competition, so it's going to be very interesting to see what role and importance Enzo Maresca gives him in his first season as a Blue. Now there's another Brazilian star who's set to shine for Chelsea this year, and that's João Pedro. When you've already dropped 60 million euros on Nkunku, 37 million euros on Nicholas Jackson, and another 35 million euros on Liam Delap, you wouldn't expect Chelsea to bring in another forward. And yet here comes João Pedro for 63 million euros. At first glance it might raise eyebrows. Why add yet another attacker to the mix?
We know they signed Delap and they're bringing in Gittins. This one just seems to be a case of, well, Newcastle want him, so let's go and sign him to stop a Premier League rival getting him. There doesn't seem to be any logic to it. It seems to be a case of let's just get as many players as possible and try and find a way to play them. But they must have about 8, 9, 10 forwards right now, and I think Delap's a decent forward, but I think the rest of them, I'm not too sure they're going to make them any better.
But then you look at João Pedro's heat map, and the answer is obvious. This isn't your standard number 9 who just lurks in the box waiting for service. João Pedro is a shapeshifter. He drifts left, drops deep, pops up as a second striker, even slides into an attacking midfield role when the game demands it. He thrives in the grey areas of the pitch, where defenders hate to go. That versatility is lethal. He can pick the ball up in midfield, glide past challenges, break through defensive lines, and drag defenders out of position. creating gaps for teammates to exploit. And once he's inside the box, he's strong enough to finish with precision. In the Premier League, he racked up 45 successful progressive dribbles and still managed a 68% passing accuracy, numbers that prove he's not afraid to take risks while keeping the ball moving. And it's not just what he does on the ball. Off the ball, João Pedro is a nightmare. He presses, he harries, he forces mistakes. Just look at the Club World Cup final against PSG. Time and time again, he pulled defenders into no man's land, dragging markers away to open lanes for his teammates. Those movements don't always make the highlight reel, but they win matches. The best thing about João Pedro, he's already battle-tested in the Premier League. He's been through the grind, the bruises, the relentless pace. And while he may not yet be the kind of striker who drops 20 league goals in a season, his numbers with Brighton tell a deeper story. 10 goals and 6 assists last season. On paper, not jaw-dropping. On the pitch, a constant menace. Because here's the truth, João Pedro doesn't need perfect service to be dangerous. He doesn't stand around in the box, praying for the ball to land at his feet. He hunts, he chases, he creates. Give him the ball and he'll drive straight at a defender, twisting hips and breaking lines, carving out just enough space to unleash a shot. He manufactures danger from nothing. The real beauty of signing Estevão and João Pedro isn't just what they bring individually. It's how they supercharge Cole Palmer. We've already seen the blueprint in the Club World Cup.
Showed us in such a short sample size. And I think that they're very self-aware of what their strengths are and what their weaknesses could be, right? Because João Pedro, when he comes in, the link-up play, the ability to drop in, Cole Palmer's able to find these passes, the runs in behind, and the understanding that Cole Palmer wants to cut in and Gusto could go over on the right side. That usually takes time. That chemistry takes time to build. But when you've got smart players, when you've got players that are able to connect, they could put something together to beat what was the best team in the world in PSG and unlock them in a way that we saw very few teams in Europe do. So everything has shown me in this Club World Cup that is the duo to go forward next season. And can you imagine with the other pieces that they're going to add how good this duo could get?
Now, add Estevão to the equation. The Brazilian brings pure vertical threat, fearless dribbling, lightning acceleration, and the ability to slice through defensive lines like they're not even there. Defenders can't double mark Palmer anymore, because Estevão will roast anyone left one-on-one. These three could form the most dangerous attacking trio in the Premier League, more threatening than Liverpool's Salah, Ekitike and Wirtz, more complete than Arsenal's Gyökeres, Saka and Madueke, and even more balanced than Haaland, Foden and Marmoush at Manchester City. The difference? Chelsea have proven Premier League firepower. João Pedro already knows how to survive and score in England. Cole Palmer is coming off a breakout season with 15 league goals. Only Estevão will need to adapt to the Premier League's pace and intensity, and he's already shown against Bayer Leverkusen and Chelsea that he can hold his own against both Bundesliga and Premier League level opposition. João Pedro is simply a better option than Hugo Ekitike.
So is Ekitike going to score more goals than João Pedro?
I would think so, yeah.
Do you think so?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, the guy's a goal scorer. João Pedro is more all-round than actually being a goal-scoring centre forward.
Right.
That's why Ekitike, in my opinion, if the two of these guys were to play the same amount of games, I would bet money with you that Ekitike scores more goals than João Pedro.
Yes, Ekitike joins Liverpool, a title-winning side with quality football, but he's coming from the Bundesliga. Like Florian Wirtz, who scored 10 goals and provided 13 assists, he will have to adapt to a faster, more physical league. Chelsea's advantage is that only one of their front three faces that challenge.
As it stands right now, with a month left in the transfer window, or 6 weeks, whatever it is, he's the focus of their attack. And I think he will be Chelsea's leading scorer. And as a result, I think João Pedro gets more than Ekitike.
And the numbers tell the story. Between them, Estevão, João Pedro and Palmer could easily combine for 40 goals. Last season, Chelsea scored 64 league goals, but lacked an efficient number 9. João Pedro can fill that role. Estevão will bring width, verticality and creativity. Liverpool's trio is dangerous, yes. Salah's 34 goals and 23 assists make him a force of nature, but their other two members have no Premier League experience. The same goes for Arsenal. Gyökeres may have scored 50 in Portugal, but there's no guarantee he'll do the same in England. Saka had 6 goals and 11 assists last season, while Madueke contributed 7 goals and 4 assists. Good numbers, but not elite. Chelsea might just be the team that nailed the transfer window better than anyone else. They've built frightening depth in every department, especially in attack. Jamie Bino Gittins, João Pedro, Liam Delap, Estevão, Add that to the existing firepower of Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, and Christopher Nkunku, and you've got one of the deepest squads in all of Europe. And that kind of depth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Competing for both the Premier League and the Champions League demands a squad that can rotate without losing quality. Chelsea have that now. We saw it against Bayer Leverkusen. It didn't matter who came on or who was rested, the team looked complete.
Before, but Chelsea, did very well. The pace that they have when they get the ball in transition, it's pretty amazing and threatening for the future game that they're going to play against the others, because they go fast, they're very effective, and if Estevão, Neto, Palmer, and some others, of course João Pedro, are fit, they're going to create trouble. So that's for sure for any defense.
Yes, it was only pre-season, but it confirmed what many are starting to believe. Chelsea might have had the best transfer window of any club this summer, not just because of the names they've brought in, but because of how perfectly each signing fits the system. And now, imagine adding Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho to the mix. Xavi Simons wouldn't just be another flashy signing. He'd be the control centre. His ability to dictate tempo, slow the game when needed, and recycle possession with intelligence would give Chelsea a whole new level of composure.
A difference between playing for RB Leipzig and playing after for a big club like Chelsea. And there is a way to settle down the quickest as possible, but we don't know how it's going to be Xavi Simons. And if you have to compare right now, Liverpool and Chelsea, for example, you will say that Liverpool are the favourites. But it's encouraging to see the signing that I saw from Chelsea, and Chelsea can be, let's say, one of the contenders, but more, I would say, more one of the 4 teams for the Champions League. But
with Simons pulling the strings, Cole Palmer could focus fully on what he does best, cutting through defences and deciding matches in the final third. Then there's Garnacho. Explosive, unpredictable, fearless. His arrival would give Chelsea yet another weapon on the left flank, stretching defences to their limit.
Chelsea, of course, need attackers desperately, Stevie. Garnacho, the latest one they've been linked to.
I don't understand it. I mean, we've just heard Frank and Ali talking about all of these forward players, and you're thinking, how are they all going to fit in with each other? How's Garnacho going to fit in?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take Garnacho ahead of any of them. And they're going to pay apparently over 50 million for him.
Yeah.
Yes, Chelsea already have 4 players for almost every position, but this is exactly what's required to survive a 60-game season while fighting on all fronts. With this kind of depth, quality, and tactical variety, Chelsea aren't just built to compete, they're built to overwhelm. Every substitution keeps the pressure on, every lineup is dangerous, every match becomes a nightmare for whoever stands across from them. This squad looks solid. More than solid, it looks ready to dominate. The final whistle hasn't even blown on the transfer window, and yet the picture is already terrifying. Chelsea stand on the brink of a new era, one where every opponent knows that a single mistake, a single lapse in concentration will be punished without mercy. Next season, Stamford Bridge won't just be a stadium, it will be a fortress, a place where young talents like Estevão, Garnacho and Gittins will run at defenders like predators, smelling fear, where Cole Palmer will orchestrate attacks with surgical precision, and where João Pedro will turn half chances into match-winning goals. This is no longer the Chelsea of rebuilding seasons and excuses. This is a fully loaded, fully armed squad, stacked with depth, skill and hunger. They've already shown flashes of their potential, but the real storm is yet to come. Because when this team clicks, when all these pieces fit together, Chelsea won't just be chasing trophies, they'll be chasing dominance. And that's a future the Premier League should be very, very afraid of.